Today we're going to be taking another look at Bitcoin, as I do think it is in a very important point right now. But anyways, before I get into the video, I do just want to say that I highly recommend you guys check out my previous video on Bitcoin talking about the ETF, as I do think even if we do go into a downtrend after this move, I still think the ETF can reverse this long term. There was a lot of FUD, fake FUD, on the Winklevoss twins ETF. That was completely horrible. A lot of the news outlets, way overblew that. But there is still a big ETF that is going to be announced in September, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys check out my other video on it. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about more of the technical analysis side of Bitcoin and where I think it's going to be headed and why. And obviously this is not financial advice, so make sure you guys do your own research before making any trades. Anyways, let's get right into the video. So as we can see here on the downtrend, obviously we did close above it on the 1 day, and we did have this nice 9 count on the TD sequential. So obviously we saw this huge bull candle as it broke the downtrend, and then we saw the top right there. And since that is a 9 count, that is a sign that there is likely a reversal point right there, especially since this is on the 1 day. And so we did see it, lose momentum a little bit here. And personally, whenever I was seeing this, I thought for sure that whenever we got to this range right here, whenever we were starting to touch that downtrend line again, I thought that that would be the bottom of this move. And then from there, we could see a further breakout. That was obviously the better situation that could have happened. But then more recently, we did fall back into the downtrend, and we did hit this very, very key level on the Fibonacci retracement here. And then we saw this green candle, which closed above the Fibonacci level. So obviously that was, very, very good. I personally thought that maybe this would be a good time to buy, although I had already sold all of my Bitcoin whenever it did fall back down into the downtrend. So whenever it was right here, obviously I had some hope that it could break out once again, but sadly, as you do see right now, we are falling below this Fibonacci level, which can be extremely bearish. As you can see here, the next level is all the way down at 6,600. So what do I think is going to happen? I think that our final hope that we can keep this uptrend is if we use this previous head and shoulders formed right here, the neckline. You can see it is around 7,000 or 6,800. If we do maintain this neckline on the head and shoulders here, then I think that is the only way, the only chance that we will have on maintaining this uptrend. If we do break this neckline, then I think there's a very, very high chance that we're going to retest this major support once again. And I think since this was already a triple bottom, normally if it's a triple bottom and it doesn't reverse after a triple bottom, then you do fall through. And I will show you guys an example of that. But before I show you guys the example, I just wanted to shout out a channel really quickly. I did actually get this idea from Alesso Rastani. He has really, really good technical analysis videos on Bitcoin and the markets, so I highly recommend you guys check him out. But something he did bring up that I saw that was very interesting is that on gold here, actually on the very long-term chart, we do see a very similar pattern here on gold where we have a triple bottom, as you can see right there. We did actually end up having a triple bottom on gold. And after it did have that third retest, we did see what we have right now. We had that breakout of the downtrend. We had that hope. But then as you can see over here, once it did retest it once again, it did actually fall through. So what he's basically saying is that we're going to see the same situation in Bitcoin if we do not maintain this uptrend. So if we bounce off this neckline, then, obviously I think that's very bullish. I think if we bounce right here, break through that downtrend line and continue the uptrend, then I think we're going to be, on our way. We're going to be happy. But if we do break this neckline, then I think we're going to retest the support. And then I think we could see something similar to gold here where we see, a pretty massive move downwards and then some sort of longer term downtrend until the end of the year or until the ETF. So obviously Bitcoin is going to have a very bumpy ride depending on what it does. I still recommend you guys check out TD sequential indicator if you haven't already. It's a very easy indicator to use, and it can give some pretty accurate signals whenever it does have a 9 count or something of that sort. Obviously, I really hope that Bitcoin does end up going bullish as the altcoin market can finally flourish. I know a lot of altcoins have been doing very bad. Honestly, the only altcoin that I have really been looking at all is Ethereum Classic, as we do get closer to the Coinbase add-on. And something else that I just wanted to point out really quickly is we actually are approaching this resistance here on Ethereum Classic. So if we do break it, then we could see a further move up. And something I always like to say is whenever we're in a bear market and there's one coin with good news that we know for sure is going to happen, I tend to see that it stays green a lot more of the time because people obviously want to trade something that's going upwards, and when the entire market is bearish, that tends to increase the volume even more on that one coin that is bullish. So that is why I think Ethereum Classic is something definitely to watch. But obviously this all depends on where Bitcoin goes over these next few days. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will be making a lot more content now that I am back home from traveling, and see you guys in the next video.